Hi guys, welcome to another Sporting Communities podcast. Sporting Communities are a community interest company. We are an ethical, non-for-profit organisation which services range from sports, coaching, youth work, mentors and family support. We are a training academy delivering a range of qualifications, and we also have art and play services. Today I'm joined by Mim and Denzel, so as normal we'll do a quick introduction. Coming to you first, Mim.
Thanks. So hi, my name's Mim and I've been with the company for around 2 years now, and my role is to go out into the community with you lovely guys and engage in different activities. I'm also part of the mentoring and supporting community strands, so I'm always here to sort of have a chat and a good old chin wag.
Fab. Dens.
Yeah, hi guys. So I'm Denzel. I've been with Sporting Communities for about the last 4 to 5 months as a youth engagement worker. So I get to connect with all the young people physically through sporting activities and just general conversations, really. I also am a part of the songwriting team, or the media team, should I say, as a songwriter. I songwrite independently also. And I'm also a football coach.
Very good. And for those of you who haven't listened or watched before, I'm James. I've been with Sporting Communities now for a couple of years, mainly going out into the community, making a bit of an idiot of myself with you guys, trying to put smiles on faces, which I normally manage to make an idiot of myself. So I'm quite successful at that one. And because of the fact we can't be out at the minute, we're just doing these kind of podcasts for you guys to try and help you through the difficult time, the same as what we're all going through, basically. So yeah, thank you for coming on and listening again to us. This week, we're going to try and be a little bit more upbeat. So we're going to talk about some positives from our week, sort of good things that have happened to us. I know I'm feeling a million times better than I was last week when I was on, so that's definitely a positive. I hope that's coming across. I've actually got the energy to speak this week, so that's good.
Jesus, you're buzzing, aren't you, James?
honestly,
that's good to see.
I'd forgot what it felt like to feel so good. I really had. So yeah, it is good to feel well again. One of the things that I wanted to start off with this week, last week we set a challenge for each other to reach out and speak to someone who potentially we hadn't spoke to for a while, or someone that we didn't normally reach out and speak to. So have we managed to do it? And are we happy?
A couple people. I've spoken to 2 of my cousins. One of them that lives in Sheffield that I've not seen for some time. And I messaged him, had a bit of a catch up, sent a few voice notes back and forth, and just continue just to keep up the communication and just explain that it will be good to link up soon, see each other. I feel good, actually. He made me feel nice and welcome. He's always telling me when I'm ready to come down, just let him know and we'll hang out again. He was actually a cousin that I've only met once also, which was on my birthday celebration last year. I'd never actually met him before then. So I guess the challenge that we set ourselves just allowed me to sort of keep up a newly formed relationship with someone. And there's been a couple of messages since then also. It was his birthday yesterday. I dropped him a message. So yeah, that's been me catching up with someone that I've not had the most amount of communication with in recent times.
Oh, great stuff. And did he enjoy the fact that you'd reached out to him as well?
Yeah, definitely. He definitely came across like that with the things that he was saying. He's really keen on us, meeting up again, and just there's sort of like a little circle. There's my brother, which is obviously, of course, his cousin, and our other cousin. They're sort of in a little tight circle. I'm sort of like the new addition to it, basically.
You're the newbie. You've got it placed now, Dens.
So there's me just trying to get involved with the clique, But so far, so good. So far, so good. And you've actually made me think of somebody else as well, James, which is a friend that I have that lives abroad. So I intend to reach out to him probably within the next week.
Oh, also. Nice. Very good. How about you, Mim?
I couldn't pick a person. So what I did, I set up a group chat for my family. So it's like a group chat with all my family members, and then a group chat for my friends as well. So I think that was easier than sort of deciding, who shall I message? And I probably got a bit carried away with myself, actually. And I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to set up a group chat. And actually, it's been really nice. It's my little cousin's birthday today as well. So it's been really active, the group chat today. And do you know what, it has actually brought some positivity to my week as well. It's been nice just sort of dipping in and out of it sort of when I've got time to, but knowing that when I have got time to look at it, there's always sort of positive messages, and it's nice to hear from my grandparents and different photos of my little cousin being posted and stuff like that. So it's been really nice, and it's been nice the fact that it's a group setting as well, so you don't feel sort of the pressure of you've got to be the one replying all the time, and you can just sort of dip in and out. So yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah,
That's
I think,
really nice to hear
that group chat definitely works for that, because I think sometimes if you do feel like you haven't replied for a few hours or a few days or however long it is, if sort of other people are talking in the group chat, like you say, it takes the pressure off you. So if you're not feeling sort of in the mood to reply and stuff like that, at least then you know that other people are having a conversation and stuff, and then you can dive back in whenever you feel like.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
How about you, James?
So I went slightly different. So I mentioned last week that my nan had been messaging me every day to see how I was. And it got me thinking, after we'd done the call last week, of the fact that every day she messaged me first. So I would always message her back, but every day it came from her before it came from me. So the challenge that I set myself was to try and message her each day before she messaged me, to show that I was actually thinking about her rather than I was just replying because she'd messaged me first.
It's like a race now to see who can get the text messages first.
Exactly. So I noticed that she'd clearly picked up on what I was doing, because the other morning I woke up at like 7 a.m. and she'd already messaged me with like a picture outside of the fact that it had snowed. So I was like, well, I've got no chance of messaging you first today, am I? But it was nice because I just felt like, do you know what, I was making a bit more of an effort rather than replying because she'd messaged me and I felt like I had to. I hope it came across that I'm messaging because I wanted to see how she was, rather than just messaging her how I was feeling because of the fact that I'd felt a bit rough. So that was the one that I tried to do. The other thing that I tried to do was, I have a family group chat as well. So I've tried to put in just like a stupid message each day to try and make people laugh. I don't message anything productive in that chat at all. So if anybody ever wants a serious answer out of me, do not ask me in that chat, because you will not get a serious answer. But yeah, just try and sort of lighten the mood and put a few smiles on faces. So if you can do that and it can make someone's day, then yeah, it's positive, isn't it? So that's what
that's wicked that you had the thought of being first to message your nan, you said.
Yeah,
I've had this similar thought some time ago, actually, when I thought like sometimes I wasn't really like reached out to by other people so much. So I think if anybody else out there's listening right now and you've ever felt like that, there might be somebody else that's also feeling like that towards you. So do exactly what James has just done and just flip the script a bit and try start a conversation or two with someone.
Yeah, I remember someone once saying to me that similar to what you've just said, really, that if you're ever feeling that about someone else, look in the mirror and just make sure that you're not behaving exactly the same way towards someone else.
Yeah.
Outside of that. Because normally if you're feeling that way, like you say, there'll be someone else that's feeling exactly the same way about how you're treating them. So it's about looking in that mirror and just sort of holding yourself accountable. And it's not about, like you say, sort of berating yourself or anything, but just think, do you know what, could actually I be treating that person better, the same as I want to be treated better by someone else? So no, I think that's the way of looking at it, actually, Dennis.
Well, they do say treat those, what is it they say? Treat those how you wish to be treated. Something like that. Or treat those as though you'd like to be treated. Something like that. Yeah, that's what my mum used to tell me.
It's sunk in then.
Yeah, just a bit. I had no choice, James. I had no choice.
It's something that's really good to live by, though, I think, definitely. And it does make you more reflective of like yourself and how like you're being viewed by others. So I think it's like, go more. It's a good one.
Yeah, that's wicked. I love your idea, by the way, Mim, of setting up the group chat. I think that's wicked. I never thought of that before.
Well, I was actually going to say, with your group there, Dens, if you were the first one to set up this group chat with your new group, there you go. That's your in straight away.
You know what? They might already have one, actually. I think my brother mentioned it months and months ago. Yeah, I know. That's a good little mention right there. I'm going to see if it's still active or not. And if not, I need to get involved. Take over.
You could be the one that rekindles that chat, you see. So there you go.
Yeah, that's very true. That's
your mission for this week.
Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes in the next episode.
You'll come on looking all down like they've kicked me out. I was like, they accepted
me out. Kicked out already. I don't know what's happening. My messages, they're not sending. Is it my signal or? I'll keep you posted.
Very good. So just leading on from that, basically I wanted to know of any other sort of positives and stuff like that that you guys have got to talk about from your last week. So I mean, I don't mind starting. My sort of main positive from the last week was the fact that I could actually leave my house for the first time. So Monday was the first time I could actually go out and experience fresh air again. Which was quite nice. I'm not going to lie, I was very tired Monday night. So it did get to me with the fact that I'd just been sat around the house, not really doing anything for like 2 weeks. To suddenly actually be out, and I went to work and I was doing a few different bits and bobs, went out and did a sort of weekly shop. By the time I got back, I was absolutely shattered. So I had to have a lie down. But it was, honestly, after not getting out, it was so nice to just be able to get out, get in my car, go for a drive, just get some fresh air. Thankfully, it was actually quite a nice day as well. So yeah, that was quite nice. Went for a little bit of a walk just to try and get some fresh air. I haven't been out running again yet. So I think I'm doing that one tomorrow. So I thought I don't want to dive in too soon and end up injured.
Don't overdo it too much.
Yeah, exactly. So
you know what's good to hear though, the fact that normally your sort of activity that gets you out is going for a jog or for a run, and even though you haven't been for a run, you still manage to get out anyway, if that makes sense. So it's good that the normally the thing that gets you out isn't the sole motivation. You motivated yourself just to go and get fresh air and go for a walk, or like you said, a drive. I think that's important actually. If there's something that you can't currently do, you know, that gets you out, then find something else to do it instead.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Martine spoke in previous weeks, hasn't she, about the fact that she's a very keen runner. And she's obviously, unfortunately, because of her injury, she's not been able to go out and run. So she's been finding other things to do. And that kind of made me think, as soon as I'd come out of sort of isolation, it made me think, you know what, I don't actually feel like I want to go for a run yet. Because although I feel a lot better, I still don't think sort of the energy levels are actually there. And I thought, you know what, I'd be doing it to force myself rather than because I actually want to. So I thought, well, instead of doing that, let me go for a nice walk instead, because I'll actually enjoy that. And honestly, it was so good. It was. So, yeah, it's only a very small positive going for a walk, but it meant the world to me. So, yeah.
Did you find that not being able to do that as well for the period of time made you enjoy it that much more?
Yeah, I think so. I think that normally for me going for a walk, I'd be a little bit like, well, I'd go for a walk. Do you know what I mean? I'd do it because I'm bored rather than because I actually want to go. I'd never wanted to go for a walk so much in my life, like suddenly get some fresh air and suddenly like you're noticing everything around you and sort of all the birds chirping and everything like that. And I was like, oh my God, like it is so nice to actually get out.
Wow.
So, yeah, I definitely appreciated it. I think because we'd spoke about so much stuff like that last week, it made me appreciate it so much more because I was looking for every little thing while I was out on my walk. So yeah,
You're giving me an idea, James.
What's that?
You're giving me an idea. Your story that's made you happy is actually making me happy to hear it. So imagine, like, I don't think we've mentioned to all the listeners and the viewers to potentially share a happy story with somebody else. I mean, that might make somebody else more happy, or you might be more, you know, feeling better to hear somebody else's good news.
Yeah, 100%. Well, at the end of the day, if you're speaking to someone that you care about and they're happy, that is going to make you happier with the fact that they're happy, isn't it? So yeah. No, I think that's a great shout, actually, Denzel. I think if you do have a good story or something to tell, or even just a funny story to tell, you telling someone else is going to make them feel better as well as you. So yeah.
Look at you. I'm well enough.
You're well enough.
Me and my best friend have set ourselves, to be fair, it's before lockdown. We just did it like getting through uni because it can be so stressful sometimes. Every day we send each other a text message or a phone call, and we message each other 3 positive things, either about ourselves, about the other person, or our week, or, you know, just something positive. And we do 3 things every day because I think it's so important. Like sometimes I'll wake up in the worst of moods and then I'll get the message from my friend and that lifts my spirits as well. So I know it does the same thing for her. So yeah, I don't know, like it's just really small things as well that can spread happiness. Like it could be something so small, but like to someone it could mean so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, 100%, 100%. I think that's a really good idea, actually, just to send a few positive vibes and stuff like that to each other, because you never know what day you're going to need it. So, and the point is, on the day that you do need it, I guarantee you wouldn't ask for it. You'd never message someone if you were feeling a bit down, saying, "Can you cheer me up?" So the fact that you just get them messages out of the blue, that will cheer you up. So no, I think that's a really good idea, actually, Mim.
Yeah,
So
I mean, to be fair, last week I was so lazy. So the text messages that I got from her were, "Get out of bed, do your dissertation." So they weren't as positive, but I needed that.
That's good. As long as you get what you need, that's what it's all about. So what about positive stories from you two then for the last week? What positive stories have you got for me?
Well, myself, I recently started a new job, full-time day job, and it's been going really well. And I've recently had a couple of weeks training. I think last week is my first full week, and today I've actually just had one of my best days, or the best day actually, because we get given like a few targets and that to hit. And I've passed the target required on most occasions. And today I smashed it, to be honest. I hit like 20, which is my best by far. So that's really been going well. It's really put a spring in my step. It feels great to have a full-time 9 to 5. It's been a while. Gets me out every day. It's motivation, and it's added a nice pattern to my lifestyle also. Been a bit tired in the mornings, don't get me wrong. But, have to grit my teeth, get up and go get that shmoney. You know what I mean?
That's it. Definitely.
So, yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear it's going well for you, Denzel, anyway.
I think I'm pretty lucky because obviously it's happened right at the beginning of a new year. And obviously, considering the virus and everything, I'm pretty lucky to still be able to find a job and actually work. So I think I feel even better for it because of those reasons. Because I know there's a lot of unfortunate people that aren't in that position. But, one thing I'll say to you two guys tonight and everybody listening and watching is, better things will come, even if you're not currently in that position. Sometimes it's just patience, because I've had to wait for a long time for the positions that I've been in recently, but it will happen. It's just a moment of time. You just have to keep pushing. God loves a trier.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%, Dens. I'll second that.
One last thing, I have to get in there. My team, my beautiful, beautiful team. Glory, glory, Man United. Had a great victory.
Here he goes.
If I had my top on, I'd be kissing it, but you don't have to see that, don't worry. Maybe in another episode. But yeah, Manchester United, we had a nice win last night. 9-0, I believe.
How did Man United get on the week before? Can you remember?
What game was that? Oh, we drew.
No, not that. No, not the weekend. The game before in the week.
I don't know what you're on about. I can't remember. My memory didn't go back that far, I'm afraid. Sorry about that.
Jeff United.
What's that? You got a cough? You got a tickle in your throat, James?
A little tickle. You got
a bottle of water nearby. Don't do that to me, my guy, man.
I'm very happy that they finally won a game for you to put a smile on your face. Anyway, Dens.
I know. You never know. Never know. If we carry on, we never know where we could finish. That's all I'm going to say.
So, how about your week, Mim? What positives have we got?
Well, I'm definitely not as excited about mine as Denzel is with his. What have I done this week? I think the most positive thing that I've seen this week is I went for a walk on, it would have been Sunday, and there was daffodils. I know it sounds so silly, but there was loads of daffodils sprouting. And to me, daffodils is like a sign of a new season, like it's the start of spring, that summer's on the way. So that made me really happy, just seeing those daffodils starting to sprout up. And it was really nice to get out and get some fresh air as well. It was a nice walk. So yeah, that was the highlight.
That's so nice. That's so nice. That's beautiful. That is, man. Sounds like a little bit of paradise.
It was so nice. And it's somewhere as well that like I walk there quite frequently, and it's not something that I wouldn't have noticed before. So I think just through lockdown as well, like we are taking so much more in, and all of those little signs of like change and all that. So yeah, it was nice.
I think it's definitely taught us to appreciate the small things a lot more than what we previously did.
Exactly what I was just gonna say, because I've noticed with you, Mim, like you've made me realise sometimes if you just look at the finer things, there's always a positive in there. Because that's quite a detailed thing you've noticed there.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good. So that was our positives from this week. I think, Dens, you'd had a question sent in to you that you wanted to pose.
I did, yes. One of our young girls, she did message about our motivation, what motivates us to keep fit and to keep healthy, what gets us up and gets us doing the exercises and things like that we do. And I think she also mentioned with regards to fitness in general, in terms of like dieting and things like that also. So I don't know if you guys have any tips. What motivates you both? For example, Mim, you being a student, what motivates you to get up? What motivates you to get your work done?
I think the main thing that motivates me is looking at the bigger picture. So there's days where I get up and I think, oh, I really cannot be doing with this today. You know, I just want to sit and watch Netflix and just do this and do that and not do what I need to do. And I think the most motivating thing for me is looking at that bigger picture and thinking, actually, if I get this done in 3 years' time, this is where I'm going to be. So everything starts with a small step. You can't build a big picture without the small like pieces of the jigsaw. So every like decision that I make in that day, getting to like towards the end result of what I want out of that day leads to what I want from the month and what I want from the year. And then, do you know what I mean? So without doing all those little parts of it and all those elements, you can't build that bigger picture. So I think just focusing on sort of the future for me is a big thing. So in, like regards to my dissertation, I'm finding it so hard to motivate myself to get up and get it done. But the bigger picture is, well, I've got 4 months left and then I'll graduate. And if I don't do this today, then I've got to do it tomorrow anyway. So you might as well just get it done and reap the rewards then. So yeah, I think that for me. And also chocolate helps. So if I get this many words done, I'm allowed a chocolate.
That's actually quite clever. You know, you're giving yourself a little treat for achieving things. And you know what? Our young listeners would love that, you know, if they gave themselves a little treat, you know, for little achievements. That's really good, actually, yeah. And also, I like the fact that you mentioned the word jigsaw, little pieces to a bigger puzzle, little baby steps and that. So it doesn't have to be everything done all at once. It can be little things done at a time, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and it helps break it down then as well, because sometimes, like, you've got so many tasks to get done in a day, it seems like too big of a thing to tackle, and then you just don't get anything done. So if you just focus on those little bits step by step, before you know it, you've ticked all of it off your list, and you enjoy it more in the process because you can sort of see the progression. So yeah, I think that is the main thing for me.
Very good. So my thing from it, obviously my sort of, I'm extremely competitive person. So I like to try and set myself some goals. So with regards to say like my running for this year, for instance, obviously I set myself the target to go out every day in January. In the end, I couldn't do it because I got ill. So I had to stay in. But for 22 days, I think it was, I went out consecutively and I did it. Now, quite a few of them days, I'll be honest, it got to the afternoon or it got to the evening. I thought to myself, oh God, have I really got to go out and go for a run now? But the minute I went out, I enjoyed it. So if I hadn't have set myself that goal to go every day, I would not have gone. I'm telling you now, I would not have gone out and done it. But because I'd set myself a goal that no one else really cared about the goal I'd set. The only person who it was going to let down was myself. But the person that I want to let down the least is myself. So setting them sort of goals makes you do things. So I've now decided that I didn't really know where I was going to go with my running for this year. I've decided to sign up to a couple of half marathons. So I've signed up to one in Derby, signed up to one in Manchester. So my aim basically now, I'm going to set myself a time that I'm going to run it in, and I'm not going to stop training until I can run it that fast. So that's basically what keeps me going. Set yourself goals, but make sure that they're realistic. don't be setting it like realistically for me, a half marathon, I'm probably looking around sort of 1 hour 50. So I might knock a couple of minutes off that and try and get under that. But don't suddenly go, right, I'm going to run it in 1 hour 20, because it's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? And all I'm going to do is burn out by trying to do it. So it's about just being realistic with your goals. Make sure it is something that's achievable, but make sure that it's something that you've got to work hard for to achieve. Because likewise, if it's too easy, if I say, I'm going to run a half marathon in 2.5 hours, for me, that wouldn't be an achievement. So set yourself something that's hard, but something that you can do if you're willing to work hard enough to get it, is my advice. And that's what I do. That's what motivates me to get up and go out and do anything I do in life. Like I say, I've used running analogy because that's what I'm sort of doing at the minute, but at work, that's exactly the same as what I do. I set myself goals. I want to finish a task by this point. Even if I'm doing something at home, I try to set myself little targets for how much housework I want to get done by the end of the day and stuff like that. Literally everything I break down into goals, because that's what motivates me.
I love what you said there as well about sort of being your own competition. So like if you let yourself down, that's sort of worse for your and I think it's so important, actually. We should all adopt that mindset a little bit of, actually, let's do it for ourselves, because I think especially sort of in this like time, we've got social media and sort of we're always comparing ourselves to other people and what they're doing and how well they're doing this, or why are they not doing this. And I think we could all learn a lot from that, James, in sort of thinking, do you know what, like, I'm doing this for myself, and like, I'm my competition, so you know, I'm not doing it for anyone else. So I really like that.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, actually. My older brother is like a keen marathon runner, and to be honest, he was part of the reason that I got into running in the first place, because he was so good at it, and I was like, well, do you know what, I'm going to give it a go. I'd never really enjoyed it, and then I decided, you know what, I'll see if I can enjoy it, and I ended up doing. If I tried to run and beat him, I'd have absolutely no chance. So it's not a realistic goal for me to say I'm going to go out there and beat my brother. I know that's not attainable for me. But what is attainable is for me to set myself a goal that I think is achievable and that I can beat and be happy with. Now, my brother could run it 20 minutes, half an hour faster than me. But if I achieve my goal, I'm still going to be really happy that I've achieved what I wanted to achieve. So, definitely. Yeah, 100%, Mim. Couldn't agree more.
And I think with anything in life as well, like, there's always going to be someone that's in a better position or worse off position than you. So, you know, we could compare ourselves to other people all day, every day, and we're not going to feel any better off for it. So I think, you know, by just setting them goals for ourselves, it's quite inspirational, I think, for others as well. And hopefully it'll be a domino effect that actually people then realise, why am I comparing myself to these people? I'm my biggest achiever and competition and critic, and you know, so yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, have some self-love, but don't be afraid to challenge yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah, I like
best advice of 2021.
Hashtag that, James. Hashtag it. Trademark it.
So how about you, Dens? Is there anything that you do or that's different to what we've said?
Slightly. With me, I always have like, I'm quite aspirational. So there's things that I want to achieve that won't be achieved overnight, possibly not even in a couple of years. So with me, I look quite into the future. And then basically I just think, right, if I want this and I want that, here's what I need to do to get there. For example, once upon a time, I kind of thought, I got into fashion. I really loved fashion. I liked, you know, buying clothes and things, and I thought, one day I'd like to have my own store, and I still would like to this day. That's not going to happen overnight. So one thing I then did is then started studying fashion, and I know that one day when I'm financially able to, I'll open up a store. So it's just about keeping those ideas ticking in my head and designing things, knowing that one day it will get there. What else can I say? Even just little things like wanting to be more financially successful. I'm quite aspirational in that sense as well. So even things like, I don't currently drive, but one reason why I want to drive is to then open up more doors, to then potentially earn more money from that. So I'm just all about avenues, being quite aspirational and having avenues, different avenues that will get me to what I want to achieve, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does 100%.
That's me in a nutshell when it comes to motivation. It's not necessarily self-motivation like yourself, James. It's more, if anything, it's quite materialistic things. It's just things that I want. It's not a part of me, but it's things that I want to become a part of myself.
Yeah.
So I have no choice but to sort of, get up and do this and plan this and thinking of all these different business ideas that I have and etc. For example, I'd love to win a music award, so I'm writing an album. What else? Yeah, just avenues, being really aspirational and having different avenues, basically.
I love that. I think
Sky's
that's
the limit.
really,
Definitely.
I think sometimes as well we focus too much on things like I've been looking forward to getting my degree and stuff, but I think I put so much pressure on myself, and I need to set myself aspirations of things that I also like you said, sort of more materialistic things. So saving up for a house, I need to start thinking about like what kind of place is it that I want to move into, and just the excitement of that, because I think sometimes the aspirations we set ourselves are quite sort of strict, like I need to get my degree and I need to do this and do that. So it'd be nice actually to have those things to look forward to as well, that I want, rather than the needs, I suppose, like the wants. So yeah, I think that's awesome.
Very good. Well, hopefully that's answered the question for you. There's quite a few different things to go on there. So basically,
I hope none of our listeners are sleeping after that. I do apologise.
I'm sure they're not, Des. We're not anyway.
About so motivation, and they're all falling asleep.
If there are any other questions that anybody wants to send in for next week and stuff like that, then we can cover them. We can go over sort of any other topics. So whatever it is, just ask one of us.
Drop a comment. Message us on our Instagram, or drop a comment on our YouTube videos. Pretty please, with a cherry on top.
Yeah, and then we will get back to you with our sort of views on it. For you. That is us done for this week. I did just very briefly want to mention at the end, we sadly lost Sir Captain Tom Moore. I know everyone's been out having a clap for him, but I just wanted to say that was one of the things that sort of got me out running during the first lockdown. The fact that he was doing 100 laps of his garden to raise money for the NHS. I think it was £32 million he ended up raising. Wow. Is an amazing achievement. So I just sort of wanted to sort of pay tribute to that at the end. And I think if there was more people like him in the world, I think the world would be a happier place. So here's to that. And yeah, so that's it from us this week. Thank you very much for listening and watching. And we will catch you again soon. Like Den said, drop us a comment, send us some questions, and we will answer them for you. Thank you very much, and we'll speak to you soon.
Later. Bye.
Bye, guys.